Kenya Wildlife Service officials may be served with a week's notice by the auctioneers to auction KWS vehicles from Nairobi and the Nakuru branches for failure to pay the Rift Valley agricultural contract 40,567,350 shillings to be exact, after a court order issued on the 4th of June, that's this year. Marianne Nyambura joins us live with the details there. Marianne, how did they accrue so much debt and how come they're not able to pay it?
Well, Trevor, initially it is a case which began in 2002 and has stalled, rather it came to an end just recently. But what we understand is that the Rift Valley agricultural contractors had a 500-acre piece of land in Narok, but what happened is that wild animals destroyed the piece of land. Now we understand that the Rift Valley region agricultural contractors went to the court seeking to be compensated for that. But initially the court ordered that the Kenya Wildlife Services pays the Rift Valley agricultural contract 31.5 million shillings as at 2011, but that since did not happen, and that is why they were ordered again to pay 40 million. Just recently, 15 days ago, they were given a notice to pay the Rift Valley agricultural contractors 40 million shillings, but they failed to do that. So as at now, what is happening is that auctioneers are set to go to the Kenya Wildlife Service offices just to give them a 7-day notice concerning this, after court order which was issued by the Nakuru law courts on 4th of June. But joining me here to shed more light about this issue is Kipkoech Ngetich, who is the lawyer who will break this down for us, and kindly just tell us now, after 7 days, what next?
Thank you very much. After 7 days from today, we are going to come down if we shall not have received the payment of 40 million shillings, and then with the accompaniment of the OCBD Nakuru, who's already been ordered by the court in Nakuru, we should be able to take away all the vehicles that have been proclaimed, that is to say, that have been attached, only awaiting 7 days. If payment is not received, we shall then proceed and have the vehicles advertised and sold. If we don't recover the 40 million shillings from the vehicles that we shall have attached from Nakuru, then we shall proceed to Nairobi, where we think there are many vehicles, there are sufficient vehicles for us to sell, and then see if we can realize 40 million shillings. This judgment was issued in 2011 by Justice William Ouko. It has been accumulating interest. We were also granted cost. The matter went to the Court of Appeal. The Court of Appeal dismissed the appeal of Kenya Wildlife Services in the year 2014. The matter proceeded to the Supreme Court, and in 2018, last year, that is around April, the Supreme Court dismissed the appeal by Kenya Wildlife Services and ordered them to pay 31 million shillings, 31.5 million shillings with interest and cost as ordered by Justice William Ouko in the year 2011. So as it is today, we hope that we should be able to attach as many vehicles as possible and other assets from Kenya Wildlife Services, so that Rift Valley agricultural contractors can be compensated sufficiently for the 200 acres of barley it lost and 1,200 acres of wheat which it also lost. That is a total of 1,400 acres of lost barley and wheat in total.
Do you think that the Kenya Wildlife Service has the capacity to give or to pay the 40 million shillings on time?
Thank you very much. Kenya Wildlife Services has the capacity. Kenya Wildlife Services has the money. Kenya Wildlife Services is very liquid. What it's only doing is to use its police arm of the service to refuse to pay this money. Kenya Wildlife Services is allocated billions of money every year. It has even a provision for payment, for compensation for cases arising out of human-wildlife conflict. But the problem with a police service like Kenya Wildlife Service is that it always wants to be prudent, it always wants to be cajoled, it always wants to be pushed.
Okay, as we wind up, kindly tell us, why have you chosen Nakuru and Nairobi?
Thank you very much. We chose Nakuru because of proximity. Nakuru is near Nakuru law courts, where we are based, where the plaintiff is also based, and it has sufficient, or we think it has sufficient number of vehicles that can be attached and sold and very easily realize 40 million shillings. If we don't realize in Nakuru, then we proceed to the headquarters where there are sufficient vehicles for us to attach and sell and hopefully recover the entire 40 million shillings.
Okay, thank you so much. Well, Trevor, that is the situation here. Of course, that is Kipketich Koech, who is the lawyer, just shedding more light about this issue. But what you understand is that the court order says that the auctioneers are set to return the warrant in 2 months and just give a breakdown, or rather report as to how they acquired the 40 million. But this is a case that we will continue to keep an eye and keep our viewers up to date in our subsequent bulletins. Back to you, Trevor.